everybody, I'm Molly from Bell Farms. So just a little update today. I have been disking up at my house. We had a little bit of rain and couldn't really do any field work for a couple days, but we're back at it today. It's super nice today. Dave's planting corn up here by my house. So he'll be planting that 27 acres of grain corn up here today. So I've got a little tree in the way over here and another tree over here, and then this big tree down here. So this one I'm not as worried about, but there's a couple little spots that I need to clean up so that he can get around with the planter. I wasn't able to disc this earlier because the tree wasn't out of the way. So if I have time and I don't run over his tracks, I'll come over here with the disc and disc this up so that he can plant it. But so Shane's over in Auburn. He's spreading some lime. He's gonna go to Hall Farms, which is in Durham. He's gonna spread some lime over there. He's helping Ray plant potatoes. Everything's in motion right now. So I just want to give you guys an update of what's going on and hopefully give you guys a little bit of a laugh. All right, I'm gonna cut this tree down. I'm gonna use my new little chainsaw for this, my little electric chainsaw. We'll see how well it does. So this chainsaw is battery operated, but you still have to put bar and chain oil in it, so it's a little bit low. So I'm gonna top that off. I have chaps. I'm not wearing chaps for this. I'm probably just gonna wear my safety glasses. We'll see if the chips are blowing in my face. If they are, then I'll put my helmet on, but I think I'll be fine. But we'll see how it goes. Not too bad. I mean, for this little chainsaw here, that's that's a decent sized tree. So I'm impressed. I like it. Works good. All right, that went pretty well. I think I'm gonna try and get some of the branches on this bigger tree out of the way too. I like this saw. So anybody who's slightly hesitant about having a chainsaw but really wants one, this is a really great place to start. I really like this. So good purchase. The battery surprisingly is lasting a very long time too. Like, I still have 3 out of 4 lights on, so that's good. All right, we'll get to work over here too. I'm gonna cut just this one little piece off here. I'm gonna call it good. This is all very soupy right here, so it's not gonna get planted anyways. And I think I'll move the disc down here and just do this little spot and then take off down to the corn shed in Lewiston here. Then I gotta start ripping that last field, the one that was like super flooded. Oh, that's right. So these ones tend to stick a little bit. Need 2 pins. So the only thing I'm not sure of is whether or not this hooks up to the top hole here or the bottom hole. So I've got it in the bottom hole. I'm gonna just check with Shane and see, but this was actually easier than I thought it was gonna be, so that's good. All right. I'll bring you guys back when I'm in the field. Getting dirty today. Well, I get dirty every day. All right, in the tractor we go. Okay, I figured out what this switch does. Okay, that one is the one that controls how high you set your 3-point hitch. So, all right, I am ready to rock and roll. Cool. Did this all by myself. All right, we're just gonna move the tractor a little bit, and then I gotta get a ride back to my house by somebody in the neighborhood. All right, guys, so I'm headed back to the last field. It's not the last field that we're doing, it's called the last field. And I'm gonna go rip there. I brought my chainsaw with me just in case I need to cut anything up down there too. I haven't had lunch yet. It's almost 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go back there and then I'm gonna find a nice shady spot and park and eat lunch. So that's my plan. So all of this stuff here is sweet corn. And then we have a little bit of beans planted over by the power lines where those big poles are. So along the river, we have a real sandy strip. That's where we plant the beans at. All right, guys, so you probably noticed that this field is pretty green. So this is winter rye, and we plant winter rye as a cover crop. So it's coming up nicely. I mean, it looks kind of like grass, but it is winter rye. This field is the one that was underwater. Well, a lot of these fields were underwater. This one was the worst one. So I actually went through and I ripped the headland where it was still kind of like a low spot, just to help it drain better. If the event, you know, when we do have more water that does accumulate in this area, hopefully that'll help it drain a little bit better. Today's been a really good day. It's probably the nicest day of the year that we've had so far. I think it's like 70 degrees today. It's not gonna last. It's gonna be in the 50s and raining for a couple days. And then I think this time next week, we're gonna have some more good weather again. But we're gonna try and get as much planted and as much land prep done today. Shane is literally directly across the river from me. All right, guys, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the farm. I'm not going to dive that deep into the history of the farm, but I will talk just a little bit about it. So right now the owners of the farm are Raymond Bell, who is the oldest, David Bell, who's his brother, and then Shane Bell, who is their nephew. Shane is my husband. So I married into the family, and I started farming full-time a little over a year ago. I've worked many jobs at once, but I worked primarily as a dental assistant for, I don't know, 15 years. And when Shane and I got together, I started working part-time on the farm. And just over the years, I kind of picked up more responsibilities, and I take care of all the food safety stuff. So I primarily was doing most of, helping with packing and bagging and sweet corn operation and food safety. And last year, I really started to dig into the farming side of it. So I drove tractor a little bit the year before and did some tillage like this and some fall tillage. And then last year, I did a lot of tillage. I did almost all of the tillage last year for spring and fall. And then, like I said, it's been a little bit over a year now. And I'm trying to do everything I can. But I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up in the country. So being outside, being outdoors and getting dirty and stuff like that, it doesn't bother me. But I did not have any farming background before I met Shane. And even the first year that we were together, I was friggin' clueless of what he was actually doing. But I totally get it all now, that's for sure. I do love this very much. We are very happy. I love what I'm doing every day, and it doesn't feel like work. So a lot of people can't say that, and I'm very, very fortunate that I can. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about, the farm, and I don't know if you guys have more questions, I will be happy to answer them. I know some people were wondering, how me and Shane met, and I think I'll cover that in another episode. Yeah, the total acreage that we farm is about 500 acres. So we generally put in about 150 acres of potatoes, about 150 acres of sweet corn, and about 150 acres of green corn. And then we also do green beans. So we plant, depending on the year and where the beans are going to be, sometimes it's 3 acres, sometimes it's 10 acres. And beans are kind of like an early crop for us. We usually can get those harvesting in middle to late July, and then that leads us right into our sweet corn harvest. So, and then when we do sweet corn, we really don't have time to do beans anyway. So beans are kind of just like our early summer crop. So like I was saying, today is a really nice day, probably the nicest day we've had all year. And I got to play with my little electric chainsaw today. That was fun. Back on the ripper, which is always fun. I like this. This field is going to be towards the end of the planting, so I still have a week or so, 2 weeks probably, before I need to get this ready for seed. And then I have another couple fields to get ready too after this one here in Lewiston. got all of that done, and I still have this to do. So I'm over halfway done, so that's good. And it's a little, I think it's like 4:40 or something like that, but I'm gonna go until this one is done today. That'll be my stopping point for the day. All right, guys, well, I'll bring you back at the end of the day and we'll do a little recap. All right, guys, so I finished up that last field, so that's good. I was glad to get that finished. I like to kind of finish a field if I can, or like have a good clean stopping point. So, all right, so that's all done over there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I think tomorrow I might be doing something over here down the road, just a little bit field that we have another pivot in. So I'm going to drive over there and check it out and see what's what. I think it's going to rain like around noontime, so it gives me a good chunk of the day to get some stuff done. All in all, today was really fun. It was a beautiful day, and I got to play outside a little bit with my chainsaw, which was fun. And I got a bunch of tractor work done. Dave got a whole bunch of corn planted, and Raymond's still planting potatoes right now. So I imagine he's going to go until dark. That's probably my guess. So he'll probably go for another hour. It's like 6:30-ish right now, I think. Yeah, 6:30. So I'm going to call it for the day, and I'm going to head home and take care of the animals and try and get some food ready. So thank you to everybody who's watching, and please like and subscribe. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.